Have you ever been caught breastfeeding someone else's husband? Let me be clear, this isn't what you think. Though explaining that to my neighborhood Facebook group turned out to be impossible. I was a lactation consultant at the local hospital, helping new mothers navigate breastfeeding challenges. But my real income came from private home visits for wealthy families who wanted personalized support. That's how I met the Weathertons. Simone Weatherton had hired me 6 weeks postpartum. She was struggling with low supply and her son wasn't latching properly. Her husband Jerome was the supportive type, always present during sessions, taking notes, asking questions. They seemed like the perfect couple. During our 4th session, Simone broke down crying. "I'm failing at the one thing mothers should naturally do," she sobbed. Jerome comforted her while I explained that breastfeeding difficulties were common, not a moral failing. "There's something called adult nursing therapy," I mentioned carefully. "Sometimes partners practice latch techniques to better understand the mechanics. It helps them provide better support." Simone's eyes lit up. Would that help Jerome understand what I'm going through? I should have seen the red flags. The way Jerome immediately agreed. How Simone insisted on recording for reference. How she suddenly needed to take an urgent phone call, leaving Jerome and me alone. "Just for educational purposes," Jerome said as I demonstrated the proper latch technique on a medical mannequin. "But wouldn't it be more accurate to understand the real sensation?" "That would be highly inappropriate," I said firmly. "Of course," he agreed. But then Simone returned, insisting that understanding the actual experience would make Jerome a better support partner. She was practically begging. Against every professional instinct, I agreed to a modified demonstration where Jerome would observe closely while I used a breast pump to show the rhythm and pressure. Except that's not what Simone recorded. The video she posted to our neighborhood Facebook group 2 days later was edited to show me leaning over Jerome, his face strategically cropped but clearly near my chest, with audio manipulation that made my clinical explanations sound like moaning. The caption read, "Found the local lactation consultant teaching my husband. Ladies, check your Ring cameras." Within an hour, the post had 400 reactions and 200 comments. Someone identified me from my car in the driveway. My photo from the hospital website was shared with warnings about the predator nurse. People started sharing stories of times they'd seen me at the grocery store, the gym, adding sinister context to normal interactions. I tried defending myself in the comments, explaining the actual situation, but Simone had anticipated this. She posted receipts showing payments to me, texts taken out of context, even a photo of Jerome with what looked like a hickey, but was actually eczema he'd had for years. My employer called within 3 hours. "We can't have this associated with the hospital," they said. "Take a leave while we investigate." The investigation found no wrongdoing, but the damage was done. They suggested I pursue other opportunities. Private clients canceled en masse. One literally slammed the door in my face when I arrived for a scheduled appointment. My husband started getting messages at work asking if he knew what his wife was doing. My teenage daughter was bullied at school with other kids making sucking sounds when she walked by. Then the truth came out, but not through any vindication of me. Simone's sister reached out privately. Turns out, Simone and Jerome were getting divorced. Simone had discovered Jerome's affair with their nanny. She needed evidence of Jerome being an unfit parent to get full custody and thought staging this scene would prove he was sexually inappropriate. I was just collateral damage. The sister showed me text messages where Simone bragged about her plan, how she'd researched me, knew I was professional but caring, likely to be manipulated by a crying mother, how she'd practiced her breakdown for days, how she'd hired someone to edit the video to be just ambiguous enough. Armed with this evidence, I sued for defamation. Won too. But winning in court doesn't restore a reputation. The Facebook post was deleted, but screenshots lived on in group texts and private messages. The formal apology Simone was forced to issue got 12 likes. Her original post had gotten thousands. I moved to another state, changed my name professionally, and now work in hospital administration. No more home visits, no more trusting wealthy couples. Every time I Google myself, autocomplete still suggests breastfeeding scandal after my name. Last week, I saw Simone at an airport. She was alone, struggling with a crying toddler and 2 suitcases. Part of me wanted to confront her, but I just watched her wrestle with the luggage while her child screamed. She looked exhausted, defeated. "Need help?" I asked, not identifying myself. She looked up with tears in her eyes. "Please." I helped her to her gate, bought her a coffee, entertained her toddler with silly faces. As they boarded, she hugged me. "You're an angel," she said. "I wish there were more kind people in the world." I smiled and waved goodbye, knowing she'd never recognize the woman whose life she destroyed for a custody battle she ultimately lost anyway.